Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Palamino Columbus 329 DV fifth wheel. I'm here to walk you guys around it, show you a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, of course, you've got this big slide, but you've also got an awning on your slide and an awning up here to leave room to come in and out. And on your off campsite, got a couple slides to think about, but I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power cord, going to plug in all the way at the rear corner, your off campsite or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. And then your water connection is going to be up toward the front on the same side, driver's side of your tow vehicle. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive, we're going to unhook our hitch by using our little auto leveling system right here. Turn that on by holding them up and down arrows down at the same time. Going to bring our hitch up or down until you get your unit up off there. Pull your vehicle up out of the way. Once you do, you're just going to touch auto level. Auto level is going to run down all your auto leveling jacks. Going to bring up and down your landing jacks until this unit is all level and stable. Once it is, this green light right here will flash. You're level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Again, big long 50 amp cord plugs in here on the rear. Should you need to. First, I'll show you how these go on. They go into the left and then turn to the right. Once they're on the right, go ahead and turn your gray washer there. Gonna lock that in place. If you need to plug into a 30, we got a 50 to 30 amp reducer. And if you ever need to plug into a 110, we got a 30 to 15 amp reducer to throw on the end of that. Just remember, running off 110, run appliances accordingly. Don't want to pop a bunch of breakers. Running a couple of ACs off that. All right, we got a power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. Real simple system here. So at campsites, we're going to hook up that city water connection. We're going to set our nozzles just like this. White down, green to the left, red up, blue to the left. Now we match that. Then we're going to grab our water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi. It's going to protect the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. So always use this when putting fluid in here. Open up the city water connection side. Hook your hose up. Make sure you're all set to city water here, but don't turn that hose on yet. Right here is your hot water heater. And all we're going to do at this point, folks, is make sure our drain plug's back in. This door will lift right off here. Grab your rod, throw a little plumber's tape around the end. Tape is preferred over putty. Putty will gum up on you. 1/8" socket, get that in there nice and tight. Then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After your hose been on for a little bit, our unit's level and stable, we can go inside and open up our slides. Because what I need you to do is get in and open up all your water taps. Get a nice steady flow of water going through all those. Shut them off, then you'll know that your hot water heater is full and you can turn that on from indoors. There is an on-off electric element right here. It is taped to off. The only time you ever want to turn this on out here is if you're plugged into 110. Otherwise, turn on your hot water heater from indoors. Hot water heater doesn't seem to be working come to see if these reset bubbles are bubbled up. If they are, simply press them back in. And then up here is your pressure release valve. Let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water, we're going to go boondocking. Well, in that case, we have a two-step process. We're going to start with your power tank fill. Match accordingly your knobs to power tank fill. Hook up your hose here at the city water connection. Treat your hot water heater the same way, make sure it's plugged. Now when you turn this on to fill this up, you're going to go inside and you're going to watch the levels of your tanks, specifically your fresh water tank. Once that's full, remove this hose. Then we will switch to dry camping. White, blue, red and green up. Now we match dry camping. Now when we want to utilize that water, we'll turn on our water pump. Wherever you turn on your water pump, shut it off. Same, if you turn it on out here, turn it off indoors. If you turn it on indoors, turn it off indoors. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water, that's already pressurized. All right, we are all set to camp. We got power and water. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Starting here in the docking station. Cable and satellite connections. Hot and cold shower. Water pump. Again, city water connection. And then for dry camping, we go power tank fill to dry camping. This is to sanitize. You want to siphon some soap into your system. You can wash it out that way. And here's where you'll winterize. You see your unit is winterized. This is where your water filter goes. Over here is your black tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. And that's your fresh and city water connection. A couple of 110s out here. And a convenient area to go ahead and run them water hoses down. Auto leveling system. Propane does come in a regulator up there. Lefty loosey to turn on. Continuing down your off camp side, next to your hot water heater is going to be your flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. Don't ever block it. And if you're running your furnace, steer clear, that does get hot. There's where we'll dump our tanks. This is access to the back of your fridge where your ice maker valve is. Got a fresh water drain underneath there. It'll be easier access when our slide is closed. Come around the back of your unit, you got a ladder. Utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof, and caulk with recommended RV roofing caulk. You also prep for a backup camera. Device you can purchase from our store. Sits on the dash of your tow vehicle. Another device clicks on here and that'll give you a backup camera for the unit. Accessory hitch. Coming down your campsite, you got an LP quick connect over here. Couple of 110s, a porch light. The other side of your passenger storage here. You're all set for TV. Plug 110 and cable right here. Set your TV out here. This is your battery disconnect. That will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. The other side of your other propane. Up front here will be your hydraulics for your leveling system as well as your battery. Over here we've got some lighting for in there, docking station, and your prep for solar. Plug in the solar panel right there and that'll trickle charge your batteries. And that about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look on the inside. Coming up beside your unit, first thing I like to point out is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of emergency. Coming to your right, you've got a little closet. Let's open that up to your control panel up here. So up top you got your awning and slide controls. Over here is where you check your levels. There's your fresh water tank, the one I said you can hold down to tell when your potable water is full. Black and gray tanks. Lots of lighting. Interior and exterior. Here's your slide for your bedroom. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you're using potable water. Your water heater if hooked to electric. Your water heater if hooked to gas. And then your tank heaters. If you're in inclement weather, you can turn these tank heaters on. That'll turn a little 12 volt pad on your tanks to keep them from freezing. Down here on the bottom is going to be your access panel to your breaker box and fuses. I'm going to go back up here to your awning control. I want to show you on your awning. You're only going to want to run that out until your flap falls down and you can see the gray bar. That will continue to run itself up backwards if you don't watch it. So keep an eye on it when you're running out. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. And back in. Alright, over to our left. Little control panel. This is strictly for your leveling system. Go to home here. You can go through and retract all your jacks, your manual leveling. You can run your leveling system from here. Below that, this is for your fan down there. This is going to be your thermostat. Find our system here. Let's go to zone 1. Crank the air up. Let me go back to find the cool again. Crank the air up. Turn temperature down. So we can get that rolling for you. A little chilly in here. I don't know if the air will come on. Just switch your system from air to heat. Heat gas, heat electric. Different modes. Easy to use. Coming over to your island here. Not much to talk about. Individual lighting. Your fridge. On your island here, down here on the side, is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mentioned that's 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camping, boondocking somewhere, nothing plugged in, charging your battery, use that battery disconnect if you're going to be gone for the whole day to keep this running your battery down. Coming into your kitchen area, self-explanatory microwave with a high and low fan. You also have a light. Cooktop here has a panel light. Well, that side's your oven light, this one's your panel light. Turn that to light. You have to press that in while hitting your spark when your gas is on. So light up here. Lighters, here's your oven. Same thing, light it here and then turn it to the desired temperature. Oven light. A little drawer. Pop-up power port. Lighting here. Get behind your TV, lift up on that. Shows you where everything plugs in. When you get to the campsites, make sure that green light is on before you run your local digital channel scan. That'll help you pick up more channels. Press that back to lock that in. Fireplace or TV here. So you have the ETV from Connex. It's an entertainment TV. It has radio, TV, Bluetooth all on this, so you can run your TV in here and go ahead and switch to Bluetooth and run your Bluetooth TV outdoors. Let me turn that back on and show you how to go through that real quick. So you go to source on here. Right now our source is TV. Up here in the corner, TV, AV, components, 3 different HDMIs, your Bluetooth. We'll switch this to FM radio here. Show you how that switches over. You turn that up. Run a channel scan, try to go through things. Won't pick up too much inside this metal building, but you see what I mean about your stereo being on here as well. Fireplace, not just for looks anymore. I can go through and show you all the pretty colors, or just make this dimmer or brighter. But the biggest thing, folks, is the heat. If it's chilly in here in the morning or evening, Instead of wasting your gas, turn on your electric heater right here and it'll get it toasty in here in no time. I can already feel the heat coming out. Sofa, of course, you know, turns into a bed. Over here, power recliners with USB ports here as well. Get both of those working. A lot of individual lighting over here as well. Your dinette, you got a 110 next to it. You also have 2 folding chairs that match these underneath your bed up there. In your ceiling, you got your max air vent, your smoke alarm, again your fan. Let's head up the hallway into our bathroom. Main thing I want to talk about in here, you got a 110 with GFCI reset. You got a bunch of plumbing to maintain. You know, just keep an eye on it. You're bouncing a house down the road. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Shower. We want to make sure that this shower door is all the way down here to our left and snap to open position for traveling. That'll hold that from bouncing around on you. You also have a hand crank out open power exhaust vent up here. Your bedroom, you got the slide area. See a few of these throughout the unit. Those are just a temperature reader. Helps you maintain the temperature throughout the unit. Helps the thermostat to work better. Another door to make sure that you have snapped closed, or in this case, snapped open. Make sure that's snapped in there well on both ends. Underneath the bed here is your extra chairs and some storage. Prep for a TV back here. You can put a backer on right here. Cable and 110 set up for that. And you're all prepped for a washer and dryer. Washer and dryer will hook up right here. And that about covers everything on the inside. One other place to lock a door back. Make sure this one is snapped to open. Lock that down in there for travel. Just keep things from banging around. Alright, let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I like to say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. All these are in. Nothing's going to impede this slide from coming in. Come up to the front of your unit. Look around, make sure all of our lighting's off. All these drawers are closed in here to keep the slide from hitting on them. Go to my control panel. Shut off all my lights. Now I can see any individual lighting that I need to walk through the unit and shut off. Flash these lights off. Now shut off all the lights except for the 3 that I can control from this control panel right here. Start by coming up here to the bedroom and bringing this slide in. Again, make sure there's nothing between that dresser and that bed. When you hear that noise is okay to hear. There's nothing going on with your slide other than the slide mechanism telling itself not to go in any further. Come up here, slide in. Gonna bring in our living room slide. Now we'll bring in our kitchen side slide. Shut off all of our lights and exit the unit. Now, the biggest thing on these steps, opening or closing, is you want to make sure this exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise this will catch on it. So we set this up inside. Lock and deadbolt your door, lift and turn this handle. At this point, we'll bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. We'll show you how to do that. We're going to unhook our power, water, and our cable. We're going to come back over here, turn these back on by hitting top and bottom arrow at the same time. We're just going to hit retract all. That's going to bring up all of your stabilizing jacks. Set your front to hitch height again. And then you can just bring the front up and down to where you need it. Get your hitch on and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be right in front of your tires on your off-camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Arrive, hook up your hose, come up here and pull your black tank. Your black tank's going to be your sewage. You listen for that to be empty. Once it is empty, you can go inside and check your panel to make sure it's empty. Once you know it is empty, leave this black handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook it up here to your black tank flush. Turn that hose on for a good 5 minutes, again stressing that this black handle is open. It's going to wash all the nastiness out of your black tank. Once that's done, close this black handle, or excuse me, remove this hose. Make sure all that washout that you put in there is drained. Then close your black handle. Now you can pull this galley tank. Once that one's done, pull this other galley tank. Once that's done, we're going to come down here. Alright, so this low point drain just above these axles here. You're going to get up there underneath there and dump those. If you're out boondocking, you're going to dump this fresh drain. That's going to be the white one there. Then you're going to come down here to your hot water heater. You'll lift up on this pressure release valve. It's going to dump a bunch of hot water out of there, so be careful. Once that's done, make sure you press that back down, otherwise your door won't go back on. And then you can pull this drain plug. Once that last gray is done, close that, take your sewage hose, bring it down here, and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Columbus for many years to come. Happy camping.